Hey guys, Anna Green here with Anna Be Changing. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Mindset Mondays. Today, on this lovely blistery day that we're having, I've got all this windblown whateverness. I don't care. Because I was so excited about what I was reading today that I had to share it with you regardless of what was happening with these little wispies that I need to have cut. So I wanted to share with you kind of an aha moment that I had in my reading today. It's from You're Badass by Jen Sincero. I'm about halfway through it or so right now. But what came to me today as I was thinking about the journeys, as we're talking about mindset and we're talking about wanting growth in our life and we're wanting to change the way that we do things and how difficult that can be sometimes. And the reason why that can be difficult, especially at the beginning, is what I like to call stinkin' thinking. So we've programmed our minds to this point to be doubtful of ourselves, to be really nasty to ourselves sometimes in the things that we say. And we've got to work on reprogramming that. So I just wanted to read to you this section that I was reading that really just had these light bulbs go off and say, yes, that's exactly how I used to talk to myself. I don't anymore because I became aware of it. But this is what she says when talking about finding a replacement for how you speak to yourself. We've gotten too used to our negative knee-jerk reactions to ourselves that we never think to question them. We simply take them as the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. But once we become aware of our thought patterns and behaviors, we can consciously change them. So start paying attention to how you speak to yourself when certain situations come up. She gives examples. What runs through your mind when you look in the mirror? What sort of things do you say to yourself? Or when you try your best to pull something off and you just absolutely bomb, you totally fail. What do you say to yourself in that point? Or when you let a friend down or a loved one down, your spouse down, your partner, your child down. When you let somebody down, what do you say to yourself? When you forget your mom's birthday or your best friend's birthday, when you snap at someone who didn't quite deserve the type of reaction that you gave them, obviously it came from somewhere else, what do you say to yourself in those points? If you're like me, you might notice that the way that you speak to yourself at those times is really demeaning. You would never speak to anyone else in that way. So the point of all of this is if you say something like, oh, God, you're such a jerk. Why did you talk to somebody like that? Or, oh my goodness, you are so just oblivious and uncaring. How could you let that person down? If you have that kind of way of speaking to yourself, the point of this is to change the way that you speak to yourself. Replace the words that you're using and the verbiage that you're using for yourself with something else. How can I learn from this? If I let somebody down, what happened? How did it happen? How can I learn from that? And how can I do something better the next time? If I forgot someone's birthday, how does that make me feel? How can I now send them the most love that I was feeling and let them know and just apologize or whatever that may be? Not ridicule yourself, but figure out a way to use that to grow. So that stinkin' thinking is habit, right? That's how we speak to ourselves. That's how I spoke to myself for a really long time. In my head, sometimes out loud when other people weren't around. But that was my go-to. That was my reaction. And you might find that the same for you. So the thing to do is replace that with other positive language, the way you would speak to a child or a spouse or a coworker or a loved one if they had that situation, if they let somebody else down and they were telling you about it, how would you speak to them? I imagine it would be in a very different way than you might be speaking to yourself. So start to speak to yourself in that same way that you would be supporting someone else, because you deserve that. Regardless of what may have occurred in the past, what mistakes you may have made, you totally deserve that. So I will leave you with one more. Do not spend your life clinging to the insulting decisions that you've made about yourself. Listen to that. Do not spend your life clinging to the insulting decisions you've made about yourself. Instead, make the conscious choice to replace them with new and improved ones. And that's what I invite you to do today and every day. Replace the words that you're using with yourself. Replace the story that you've been telling yourself about you, and create something that is more fitting to who you are now, who you would like to become, and the life that you would like to live. Thank you guys again for joining me today. I hope you have a fantastic week. Go out there, say something nice about yourself, and say something nice about somebody else. Have a great day, guys.